He's in downtown Sylacauga this morning. We welcome to our studio an old friend who has been on this show numerous times, Vietnam vet Ed Jenkins. And Ed, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale.
Good to have you with us this morning. Did you get that smell outside this morning?
Yes.
Woo, man, I tell you, that's something else, isn't it? But it's harmless. But hey, we want to talk about several things this morning. Let's talk first of all, and I don't know that much about it, but this Medal of Honor. Talk about that a little bit.
It's the highest honor that you can get in the military, and from this from this particular region, we have probably 5, and the 5 that we have are, all silent. They don't like to brag about it. None of us do, as far as military is concerned. But we appreciate them. It's High Walker, and then you and I were just talking about a special friend whom I served under for 10 years in the Guard, Sergeant Jerry Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Covet your prayers this morning for Sergeant Walker and the family. Wonderful people, wonderful man.
Yeah, he's having some physical challenges, and Jerry been a long-time friend. And he and his wife Donna live here in Sylacauga and raised their family here. And Jerry, like Ed, a military veteran, and when Desert Storm and situations like that came up, a lot of people were involved in that Desert Storm, and I think Jerry was one of those.
Yes, he was. Jerry was involved in Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom, so he's very active in the military over a number of years. And he didn't like to say much about it either, but to be honest with you, Jimmy Dale, Jerry Walker, Sergeant Jerry Walker was one of the most precious persons that I ever had contact with, him and his wife Donna.
No doubt about it. Brother Ed Jenkins, who is a military veteran of the Vietnam War, and the war's ongoing with Russia attacking Ukraine. What do you think about that, Ed?
Well, Jimmy Dale, my thing about it is it could have been avoided, but I admire Ukraine for hanging in there. And now it seems like Ukraine's coming on.
Yeah. And
hopefully that'd be the case. A lot of people have said, well, if we ain't careful, we'll bring on World War III. Well, I don't know a whole lot about what's coming, except, sooner or later, it probably will happen. I don't know when and what day and what hour, but think about it, I admire those people for hanging in there and trying real hard. I hated it. Sometimes I think about poor leadership, in the military. I don't have nothing against nobody, but Lord, the nation needs prayer, Jimmy Dale, with the leadership we have now.
Let's get back to the Medal of Honor and talk more about that, if you would.
Okay, the Medal of Honor is, well, I can't name names, but like you smash a grenade to save a bunch of people. Perfect illustration. And things like that. Mm-hmm. That's how the Medal of Honor comes in. It's not that you did this and did that. It's that you risked your life intentionally to save a brigade, a company, or whatever of men.
So you're saying we've got 4 or 5 individuals right here
in the area,
wow,
in around about Alabama.
Yeah. So is there going to be a special event for that or anything you know of?
Need to be, but not as I know of.
Yeah, okay. Now, a special event we can talk about this morning is you're going to be preaching over...
Well, we'll be over there. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
For the past several years, all I've been is a fill-in preacher, and I'd like to say this. And I do go over there to church and been there.
That's West Side.
West Side, and they're really honoring the pastor.
Yeah.
So I have been preaching, as far as preaching, 67 years, ever since I was 12 years old, Jimmy Dale. But the last 5 is just a fill-in preacher and things of that nature. Now, most of the time, a lot of times they don't have any preaching. The Spirit moves, and they don't have any preaching, so a lot of times. So
now, when is that going to be?
That's going to be Sunday.
Okay.
This coming Sunday, April the 3rd. And I will be there with the folks, and that Sunday have been ministering 67 years. Somebody asked me the other day, have you done everything right? I said, have you? And it's a good question. Now, I've had a lot of bad events happen to me over the years, and daughter's dead, first wife's death, and now this one with a stroke. Why did it happen? Nobody has answers.
How's she doing, by the way? We're talking about Ed's wife.
She's doing lots better than Jimmy Dale. She's on 21-day recovery rehab, and they're doing an outstanding job out there. She's getting better every day. Thank
Now,
goodness.
she's in Alexander City?
It's Chapman.
Okay.
Chapman Rehab. Now, I would like to put in a plug for my daughter. I had carried her to Russell, nothing against the hospital, and I carried her to Sylacauga. So the last time I carried her to the hospital, the next morning I had to get a rush to UAB. So daughter recognized, she said, Daddy's having a stroke, which I got a daughter, it's a nurse, you know, thank God for that. And that's, right now, she's my sidekick.
Yeah.
So, but the whole thing in a nutshell resolved around this. It's helpful to people. I want to get back to Sergeant Walker. Can I get back to him for a few minutes? You know, a good thing that we did here in Sylacauga. A good thing.
Always come in handy, don't they?
You sure do. But the good thing we did, that's that allergy. Good thing we did for Sergeant Walker was Citizen of the Year. And if anybody ever deserves Citizen of the Year and patriotic and everything else, it's Sergeant Jerry Walker. And I was humbled that he was my first sergeant for 10 years. And I was honored. And all of Sergeant Walker's people were patriotic. His mom, his dad, his wife, children. And we just need more patriotic people, Jimmy Dale. And that's the key to the whole thing.
Now, you're involved with a lot of churches in the area. I know over at Marble City Baptist, they got the Hoppers coming to town tonight. You remember the Hoppers?
Yes, I do, and I'm glad they do.
Yeah, they're a good group.
They're a good group, one of the best. Yeah, I still love Southern Gospel.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Now, the Hoppers will be over at Marble City Baptist. That's tonight at 7 o'clock. Admission is free. Have a free will love offering, and the Hoppers don't get in this area very often, so
we encourage you to go.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And tomorrow, Ed, is cleanup day here in Sylacauga. Do you know that?
Talk about that right quick.
Oh yeah,
and we encourage Jim Dale. We encourage everybody that can come out and clean up. Now, what we're trying to do, the people in Sylacauga, is get back to the beautifying Sylacauga and get another National Beautification Award.
No doubt about it.
And we appreciate all the. What's my man's name? Clark.
Randy Clark.
Randy Clark. We appreciate him and all his helpers. And just keep it clean. We have a good bunch of people in Sylacauga. Let me just say the best. Church people, whatever. We have a good group of the best people in the world in Sylacauga. But do try to help with this cleanup.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, 8 till noon, over at the Old Food World parking lot, and they'll have dumpsters over there, and they'll have supplies for you too. And it's all sponsored by the City of Sylacauga, Sylacauga Beautification Council, the local garden clubs, and Toledo County Commission. So be a part of that if you possibly can. Hey, Ed, one more thing before we go this morning. You know, we got the political primaries coming up in May.
Yeah.
And a lot of people running for office. What about, what's his name? Tim James. He's going to be in town tonight. Harvey's own Noble speaking.
Well,
you remember Fob?
Yeah, yeah, I remember Fob. I remember Tim. He'd run, you know, before. People go out and listen. People go out and listen to all of it. And I, you know, they asked me. I said, you just go vote.
What about Mo Ivy? She's got a big lead in the governor's race.
Mo Ivy may win without a runoff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised. Yeah. And now the Senate race is like this. It's the two-team race now between the veteran and Miss Christie, whom I know both.
What happened to Mo Brooks?
He's third. So that's what happened to Mo Brooks.
3 out of 3, third out of the 3. I think they're good.
Well, the thing about it, people in Alabama are looking for something new, just like they are everything else nowadays, because people have been there, you know, and everything. Now, one of our local men, you know, that replaced Bill Nichols a number of years ago, then replaced Bob Riley, really. but he has a little token opposition. I see him winning without any problem.
Yeah.
But getting back to the whole thing, I ran into one of your preachers the other day, and he's been gone for a while, but he's still a fine gentleman. Bailey, Brother Bailey.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Bob Bailey, yeah. Hey, did you know Brother Keith Owens' birthday is this coming Monday?
Yeah, he's getting on up there in age.
Yeah, he's been over at Valley View close to 20 years now.
Right. Well, you know, and I still admire the man that built Valley View. They told him it couldn't be done, but he did it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brother Edwards. And of course, look, let's get back to Brother Beam for a minute. He built a new church. Guess how he built it?
About West Side.
West Side. And he built it with him and one deacon, mostly. And he owed nothing when it was completed. Church capacity is not big, it's small, 100 people. And we're expecting to fill it up Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing in a nutshell. We have people that going to sing and whatnot. A lot of time when you sing in the Church of God, that's all you do because the Spirit takes over and leadership. But anyway, we will be there with them, and I make comment on this. If I ever, and that's your preacher too, Brother Owens, Brother Beam, I can get them. And they're right by my side, and I appreciate both of them, and I'll leave it with that.
No doubt about it. Ed Jenkins, our guest this morning. You ever been over at Homestead Farm over there in Clay County, Ed?
Oh, yeah, I appreciate Bob with that.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. He's doing a great job with Homestead Farm over there. And this is still local, and the stuff is real good. It ain't he raises, most of it comes from raising it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it, because you don't know what you're eating if you don't. So get Bob over there, Bob, the Homestead Farms. You'll know what you're eating, and you get the best of everything.
Hey, listen, this is Ed Jenkins. He is. How many Purple Hearts were you awarded?
3.
3.
And the Silver Star, Bronze Star, Army Commendation Medal, and then at the end, what do you call it, Legion Merit.
Are you involved with the Legion Post now?
I'm involved with the Legion period in the state, and the Disabled American Veterans, and the VFW. The reason they say so-and-so drink, I could care less about that. My job is to help one another and help people. And these organizations go to bat for their vets in Washington. And they went to bat for them this year, and they got one of the biggest raises they'd ever had.
You know, we don't have this armory up here anymore here in town.
We do.
We don't sell it?
We don't have the armory, but the Legion has it.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not interested in selling it.
Okay.
They're putting on events.
Oh, okay.
And they've got a big event scheduled, I think, for April the 30th.
Okay.
They had, you remember you announced one of their events just recently. And they won't have to sell it if they put on events.
Yeah.
And by all means, this is a non-profit organization, and we should let them operate it the way they want to operate it.
Well, we appreciate all of our veterans, including you.
Thank you,
Ed
Jim.
Jenkins, and Ed always has some interesting things to say. He'll be
Now,
over.
I'd like to close with this thought. If you've got a problem, call me, and I'll tell you where to go to get it answered. We got the best veteran service officer in the state of Alabama now in Alexander City, Nicole Gooden. And she will help any vet that goes to see her. So if you can't, and then Mr. Fred Pearson's down here on Tuesday, but if you see one of them.
You used to do that, didn't you?
I done it from 1992 until recently.
Yeah.
And we've had them things happen. And well, since then, we filled in a while for.
You love this country, don't you, Ed?
Oh, I'm the same Patrick Henry and them, and I regretted I went one life for God and country. So.
Wow. There he is, Ed Jenkins, our guest this morning on Daybreak. More coming up right after this.